So there I was, right about to take a shower. I take my phone out just to look at some messages, and what do I see? Hentai Haven was shut down. This was all of a sudden. I thought this was completely fake, and so I went to look it up myself, and there it is. It was shut down. The site was, you couldn't find it. Their Twitter page was closed, and their Facebook was up with their closing message. I thought it was all because of the Sub to PewDiePie meme. I mean, I couldn't have been the only one, right? So if you guys didn't know, was it a week ago or a while? It was a while ago. They stated out on their Facebook page that Sub to PewDiePie or we shut the site down. And I mean, that's just perfect timing, right? That's just too convenient that like within this short span of time of saying that the site was closed, which is weird at the time because I was like, wait a minute, but PewDiePie's like 1 million subscribers ahead, right? But no, it wasn't because of that. And actually, I think a lot of people don't really know why it shut down. There were a few things that I looked into, and one of them being financial issues. So there's this statement that was put up on, I guess, their Discord or something, about the owner having like legal troubles, or not legal troubles, that's the next point. Some financial issues trying to pay off something, a loan or something like that. I'll put the statement up here somewhere. But that turned out to be an April Fool's joke. Which is weird because it said that it was posted on April 1st, which I don't have the original posting. I just have the screenshots that have been shared across. Another reason is legal issues, and I think it pertains to the lolly tag from what I see. So for those of people who weren't around or who didn't know what was going on, Hentai Haven removed the lolly tag, which became quite a popular meme in the community. But it was that they removed the tag, but they didn't remove the content that could be depicted by that tag. And so apparently that got them into some legal issues, I guess, because their servers apparently are hosted in Australia. So it just got them, I guess, a bit more trouble to deal with. So it'll just be interesting to see how that comes up. And so basically that leads me to one of my big points of this or the most recent news is that Fakku is apparently reviving the site. I was working on this video the entire day. I was gonna make this a whole rest in peace Hentai Haven video, but no, that just went out the window. This is just me, I guess, reporting it now. But there are few things I want to talk about now. Whether or not this is actually legit, I mean, Fakku said it themselves, kind of. They posted this up, so I'm not entirely sure. But we'll see in the coming weeks or the coming days, I guess. But this kind of brought up I guess, kind of questioning in my mind about how hentai streaming would be managed. Their statement when they closed down was that a lot of sites are doing it a lot better than them and that they're a lot faster than them, which in a way is kind of true. As for me, I stopped using Hentai Haven. Don't get me wrong, it was a great starter site. Oh my god, I'm talking deeply about this shit. What am I doing? But I did move off to other sites just because some were doing it a lot better, or updated a lot more frequently. With Hentai Haven, you didn't really get that many updates, and they were a lot further behind on some series. Now, I'm not saying that Hentai Haven was a bad site. You know, I did start off on it, and if anything, it's really important in, I guess, this cycle of how I ended up discovering hentai. You know, when I first entered the anime medium and I found out this, like, I guess, second part of it, you know, it was a huge eye-opener. And upon entering the site, I just found a bunch of kinks. I discovered a bunch of kinks that I never thought I'd be into. I don't know if I should be sharing that. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. It was just the whole community around it, I guess. You know, Hentai Haven was really this kind of icon that popularized, I guess, this genre of anime, if you can call it that. I remember one time I was at Best Buy with my mom. This is a really strange story, I know. But we were picking up a package, I remember, and my phone was out to confirm that I did purchase it, and I had my messenger app open because I was talking to my friends at the time, and our logo at the time was the Hentai Haven logo. And so the guy asked me, he's like, that logo looks a lot familiar, where's that from? And I was like, it's just the logo that my friends use to talk with. And it's like, yeah, no, I've seen that logo somewhere. I'm like, yeah. And then I tried to like close the conversation off. I tried to leave as fast as I could, but that was was so awkward. But it wasn't so much the viewing experience only on Hentai Haven that was amazing. It was the community. It was the reading the fucking comments. Now, I don't know if it was just me, but when I was watching a certain hentai, a certain series, I would sometimes go into the comments, see how everyone's doing, check up on everyone. And there were some interesting things, people really kind of agreeing, like talking about the series. It's almost as if you were like with your friends, family, watching a certain show that everyone likes that's being like talked about, and just discussing your own opinions about it. That's what was happening in these comment sections, and I thought that was really interesting to see that no one would kink shame you, unless you were into like NTR, ugly bastard, or scat, or some of those other questionable things. I know I'm being a hypocrite, but really, if you're into those things, you need some help, okay? But other than that, I guess it is a good thing to see that the site might be coming back. Everyone was kind of in a huge uproar around it. But hopefully, I guess seeing where it goes, Fakku can restore it and bring it back to its former glory. Though I do hope they do improve on their, I guess, catalog. As I said, it kind of didn't update as much, and they didn't really have as, I guess, wide of a selection as other sites did, which is one of their, I guess, complaints about themselves from their statement. So I guess we'll just see how that develops. One final point that I wanted to bring up in this is, I guess, the whole point, or the whole, I guess, idea of having hentai streaming, because this did come up because of legal issues, I guess, supposedly. But it could also be because of the same thing of what happens with anime streaming sites, is the whole legality of it. Now, from what I know of, or from my knowledge, there isn't, I guess, a mainstream or widely known legal hentai streaming site. I mean, if there is, someone list some, because I've never heard of one. But it does make me question, how can this art form, because hentai is art, by the way, how can this be managed in, I guess, this time when anime streaming is getting more popular than ever, where we have a bunch of services and apps that make it really readily accessible for everyone, And one of the ideas that I kind of thought of is, well, with Crunchyroll, they are now adding, I guess, or there is some addition of uncensored anime versions, which I think would be a good way of doing it. Like, if anything, like have, like, I guess, an adult section for the page. Of course, there would have to be like regulations for how that's accessed, just because, to protect the youngins. But it would be nice to see this, I guess, more popularized. Like, for instance, the site Pornhub, which is, I guess, one of the most popular, more widely known site for, well, porn. So it'd be great to see if there would be, I guess, an alternative for hentai as well, something that popular that's like legally managed in a way. Anyways, with that final statement made, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what people think about what I said, especially the last topic that I brought up. I really do think more can be done with it. And other than that, I'm really sorry to take up your time with talking so deep about hentai. I don't think I'll do another video like this again.